Hello, brick sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and today I want to talk to you about how you can take up Lego as a hobby more affordably. One of the things that get commented on in my videos all the time is that people saying they are new AFOLs and they love the fact that Lego is becoming more and more appropriate for adults and that they really want to get into it, but it's just too expensive at this stage in their life to start from nothing. And I get that. It is expensive. Lego is not cheap, but there are more ways that you can maximize your money when it comes to Lego and that you can do this hobby more affordably. And I'm going to talk about some of those today. First of all, I want to talk about my Lego collection. I have what I would call a large Lego collection. I don't have a giant Lego collection. I don't have a massive Lego collection. I have one corner of my basement that has a lot of Lego in it. I have a city, I have this build station, and I have some bulk bins that hold stuff, and that's about it. I have a few miscellaneous sets around, but if you watch my stuff, you know that sets really aren't my thing. I'm a mock builder. I like making my own stuff, and it's been like that ever since I was a kid. I really enjoy the creativity of making my own creations. So obviously my collection is going to mostly be loose bricks. Now the person who inspired me to make this video by asking the question was curious if I supplement my income to help afford the hobby. And I guess the answer is yes, because I do have a monetized YouTube channel, but it really doesn't pay a ton of money. It's a little bit and it does help and it pays for a decent amount of the Lego that I buy. I'm not really relying on that to fund my Lego addiction. I do set aside money that I spend each month on Lego. I have a full-time job and I have money that I can apply toward that. Now that amount varies. Ever since starting the Lego channel, it has gone up because making these videos for you guys, I have had to buy more stuff and get things in larger quantities, but it's been worth it, and being able to monetize these videos has helped pay for that. So that's worked out well. The person who commented asked if I sell sets or sell on Bricklink or BrickOwl. The answer to all that is no. I'm not a Lego seller. I know a lot of people are. Gosh, I don't know how they do it. Bricklink selling looks like a big pain in the butt, and I give you a lot of credit if you can do it. I'm glad you do. I love buying from you guys, but that is a ton of work, a ton of sorting, a ton of organization, shipping, handling, all this stuff. That's more than I want to do. I don't want that much Lego in my house. Well, I do want that much Lego in my house, but I don't have to sell it. So that's just something I've never been interested in doing. A lot of people do collect sets and sell them as they go up in value, much like you would with wine or other commodities, which is kind of cool. I get that. That seems a little easier to me than selling individual pieces. But no, I don't do that either. Again, I buy very few sets. If I get 2 sets a year, that would be a lot. Most of what I buy is just loose brick. So really the only thing that supplements my Lego collection is this YouTube channel. Now, as far as how to save money when buying Lego, a lot of that just comes down to shopping smarter. And I assume that if you're interested in getting into this, that you're talking more building your own mocks. Because if you're just trying to save money by buying sets, I don't have a lot of tips for that. I don't think anyone's going to have a lot of really good tips for that. Maybe they will, I don't know. But if you're looking to get into making your own creations, I can give you some pointers here. So when building up a Lego collection, you're definitely going to want to look at pricing, and there's more effective ways to buy than others. Personally, I would tell you, avoid buying sets. Something like this ukulele is super cool. It looks awesome on a shelf, but this is a $30 set. Doesn't have a ton of pieces in it, and not all, but most of these pieces are useful pretty much for this set and wouldn't make for much else of a mock in the quantities that they come in this. These little potted plants are also super cool. This is a $50 set to get all of these little potted plants. There's 9 of them. Each one is unique, and there's a lot of cool pieces in there. But again, $50 for this amount of pieces doesn't really go too far, and most of these pieces are very specific to this set. This box here is 100% stuffed with medium nougat masonry brick. That box at the Pick-A-Brick wall was $20 for all of this. Now, just piece count is one thing, but think of how many times you can use this and reuse this over and over and over again to build cool stuff. 20 bucks for that, $30 for this. If you offered me $100 at the Lego store and I could either blow it on the pick-a-brick wall or pick out a $100 set, I'd go pick a brick every single day. If you're still not convinced, this one was also 20 bucks. You can do a lot of water with an entire pick-a-brick box full of trans light blue 1x2 tiles. Or greenery, 3-leaf pieces. This entire box was also $20. So you see what I'm getting at here. Buying this way, you can get a lot of parts. All 3 of these boxes combined was only $10 more than buying these potted plants. Look at the amount of pieces. Look at the amount of things you can build with this. You can't really build a lot with that. So it does add up. You definitely need to shop smarter. Now, this doesn't just apply to Lego Pick-a-Brick. I think Pick-a-Brick is the most effective way to buy. Unfortunately, you're limited to what they have, and sometimes it's not very good. All of this stuff was bought on Pick-a-Brick, but not all at the same time. I found these probably 6 months ago. These you can get most of the time. These are rare, but you got to keep checking it, and you'll get good deals every now and then. On top of that, you can look at Brick Owl and Brick Link, and you can find sellers that sell at very reasonable prices. Some sellers are kind of more expensive. Some sellers put really good prices on stuff, and if you're buying in bulk, you can get even better prices. So doing a $30 to $50 order on there, you can get a lot of stuff. You would definitely fill more than one of these boxes for $30 or $50 on Brick Owl or Brick Link, just depending what you're buying, of course. But if you're going for basic building pieces, you can get a lot for your money on there too. The biggest secret to my Lego collection is it wasn't built overnight. I am 36 years old, and I have a ton of Lego in here that I've had since elementary school. I've had some of this stuff since I was a child. Now, a lot of the newer pieces and the newer colors, no, I've bought those more recently. But the ability to do it over time makes it a lot more affordable. You can build the collection and add things here and there in smaller quantities, and after a few years, you're going to have a lot of stuff. If you pick up a YouTube video today and go, oh, I'm going to start building Lego tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be overwhelming. You're not going to get a lot for your money real fast. You have to build this up over time. And one of the best ways you can kind of get a jump start, buy someone else's collection. And don't buy it from a Lego person. There's a little secret out there. When kids are done with their toys, something bad happens. Their parents get a hold of them, and they sell them. And they often put them on Facebook for far less than they're really worth to the right person, which is you or I. And you can buy some used bulk deals for fantastic prices. I'm going to post a link here of a bulk deal I did earlier this year. If you haven't watched this video, there is so much stuff in this, and I only paid $50. It was by far the best value I've ever had in Lego. Now, obviously, when you're buying bulk deals, you can't really pick the pieces, and you might get some junk in there, some kids' leftover toys or an old sucker or something, but that's a risk you have to take if you're going to try to buy used in bulk. But it's a great way to jumpstart a collection, and you can find stuff in there that you wouldn't normally buy that'll expand your mind and how you use this stuff and teach you new techniques and things. So a fantastic way to get a jumpstart. Buy someone's bulk collection, and you can usually get them pretty affordable, especially if they're larger, because people just kind of want it gone. And you know, the price might shock you, but if someone puts $300 on a really, really large collection, it's probably worth it. I mean, it really is. If you really parted it out and looked at what the stuff's worth, it's probably worth far more than that. But if you can get them at 50 or 100, even better. Now, one of my biggest secrets to making my large Lego collection look like a massive Lego collection is I don't keep everything I build. About 99% of the stuff that you've seen me build on this channel, I've taken it apart. I know it's sad. I wish I could keep it all, but it's just not cost effective. The cool thing though is what you can't take away is the memory, the skills, the techniques you learn. Once you've built something, at least in my head, it's stuck there. And I'm going to know those techniques, and I can rebuild that in my head over and over and over again whenever I need it in a mock. For example, something like this little desk setup I made. One, this doesn't take a lot of parts. If I do leave it assembled, which this is one that I leave assembled, this didn't cost much. I can probably get all these parts for, I don't know, under $10. So it's fairly affordable right away. But maybe I build it, display it for a little bit, and then take it apart and reuse those pieces. If you don't want to forget these things, you can always take pictures of them. And honestly, it's one of my favorite things about this YouTube channel is I know in 10, 15 years, I can look back on this and look at all the stuff I used to build without having to have this stuff sit around and clutter my shelves. And that's one of the biggest reasons also that I don't care so much for sets. Sets are awesome. You learn so much from them, and the techniques are so cool what these guys come up with. But once you've built it, what do you do with it? It's going to gather dust. I mean, I'd love to have a Lego Titanic, but that's going to take up a ton of space in my house. So to me, it's just not what interests me with Lego. And I know I'm kind of unique in that, and a lot of people, that's more what they're looking for. But I think mock building has so much more value, and it's a lot better of a hobby to me. It just brings out so much more creativity, and you're really making something that's truly your own. The last piece of advice I'm going to give you is to build smarter. So yes, this stuff is expensive, but there are ways you can maximize your spending. For example, this is 10 1x6 white plates. These on Brick will go for most sellers 8 to 10 cents a piece. This is 10 1x6 orange plates. These are on Brick Owl for 3 to 4 cents a piece. So you can get double for less money of the orange ones than the white ones. Well, okay, you're probably saying, what if you need white? Well, yeah, you probably do need white. White is a much more desirable color. That's why it's more expensive. But just like you may have seen in my Lego Obelisk videos, take all those funky colors and put them inside. You're not going to see them. And just use the expensive ones on the part that shows. So you're not going out and ordering hundreds of dollars of white brick when you're only going to see 10% of it. Use the stuff that's undesirable and keep your costs down. It's really easy to do. Or even better yet, anybody who has any sort of Lego collection has a ton of old primary colored bricks. And these, as you get better and better with Lego, have less and less use. But they will always have one use. These are fantastic filler brick. So if you're building mocks, this is the kind of stuff you stack underneath elevation. This is the kind of stuff you can put to prop up buildings and things, and just cover it with the more expensive good pieces. Because other than that, there's not going to be a lot of use for this kind of stuff. Going one step further, you may have some old clear stuff that's really yellowed and ugly. You may have parts that are hideous that you're never going to use, like clocks or smiles or eyeballs. This is all excellent filler brick. Also old windows and doors. Never going to use those in a mock, but you can prop up something pretty fast on those and not have to fill it with expensive brick. And the last one, my personal favorite, the Duplo. I had to borrow these from my daughter. But the Duplo is just a cubed version of the Lego. And if you didn't know this, they're 100% compatible. The Duplo will stick to a standard Lego base plate. The Duplo can also be covered in standard Lego pieces, which will allow you to convert this from Duplo to Lego that easily. And you can make big mocks with this without having to spend a lot of money. And Duplo is still kind of expensive because it is a Lego product. You can find it fairly cheap used in like Goodwills or Salvation Armies or anywhere that sells secondhand. You can often find Duplo and it's not horribly expensive. So a great way to really maximize your Lego part usage. Well, I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope it gave you some tips you can use there in your own collection and to help expand your Lego collection. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe because I'm going to do more just like this in the future, and we will see you next time.